Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. We're here. We're back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. But before we do, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And with that being said, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Organic herbs and botanicals, skincare and edibles, wellness for body and mind. The Brothers Apothecary. Fine teas and remedies. Ronald Records. From indie gems to classic hits, discover the heart of local music. With live shows all the time, up close and personal, and regular releases on their in-house label. Ronald Records. Supporting the community, one track at a time. All right, thank you all so much for watching again. Shout out The Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guest.
Peace. Seven Da Pantha.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us.
Glad to be here, most definitely.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about, who you are, where you're from, what you do. Give us that, Tinder profile of your involvement with music.
Oh, man, Seven Da Pantha. I'm, North Carolina. That's home, man. Yeah, North Carolina's home.
Gotcha.
I've been in Washington for, this makes 9 years.
Okay.
So it's been almost a decade.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised, but.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you moved out here a little bit before I moved out here full time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. What brought you out here initially?
It's just time for a change, man. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
I kind of feel like it, at a point you feel like there's no further place for you to progress in a certain spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, okay, so where do I feel like I can?
I'm a firm believer everybody should move out of their hometown. Even if you move back, there's nothing wrong with moving back, but
right.
you got to get out there. You got to put your toes in different sand once in a while and just see what it's like.
Yes.
And then what got you into music initially? What did the start look like there for you?
Well, music itself, my mom sings, my brother sings.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, church probably was my biggest music influence in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
And then hearing the records my mom was playing around the house, and then hearing records my grandmother was playing,
Mm-hmm.
it's two different eras of music that they playing, you know what I'm saying?
Very
so
much
I'm hearing all of that, but at the same time, I'm being reared and coming up around my friends that we listening to hip hop. So It's like, oh man, all of these influences, but I didn't really decide that I wanted to. I started off as a DJ.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I didn't really decide, this is what I'm going to do. And I picked up the pen the first time I heard Eric B. for President.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I listened to Rakim, and I was like, wow, I want to do that.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's been on ever since.
Hell yeah, I dig that. And did you know anybody else that was making music at the time?
Yeah, actually my cousin Chris, he used to go by Doc C. He was actually the beatbox for this group called the West Side Hustlers.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that rapped in the group, Lil Horn, him and Rakim kind of were my influences. Rakim was like, oh man, I could do something with this, and Lil Horn was like, oh, but this is somebody that's doing it, that's really good at it, that's right in my face. You know what I'm saying? So those were my two biggest influences as far as really jumping in and locking in with it.
Hell yeah, I dig that. It's important to acknowledge the people who are in your space in real time doing it. That goes a long way towards figuring out those first steps really well.
Yes.
And then before we get into more of what you do in the present day, I do have a couple foundation questions I like to check in with everybody on.
Okay.
This first one's one we ask early, it's one we ask often, and it's definitely a crowd favorite. What was the first album you ever bought with your own money?
First album I ever bought my own money was Ice Cube, America's Most Wanted.
Hell yeah.
Ice Cube, America's Most Wanted.
But, I mean, other than the obvious reasons that it's phenomenal, what made you pick that one?
You know what I'm saying? I was young, but I would sneak and listen to NWA. I was a huge NWA fan. Mm-hmm. But then when he left, when he left NWA, it was kind of rough. I was like, oh my God, what's happening now?
Yeah.
Then I heard, hey, Ice Cube's coming out with a solo album. And the day that it came out, I was in Baltimore, Maryland. I walked to the record store in Baltimore and bought it. I had been saving money all this whole year. I've been saving little change here. I walked to the record store, I bought it. I walked back to the house, and I was just smiling like a Cheshire cat the whole way back to the apartment. And it was a really validating day because I sat down, I hit play, listened to both sides of the tape, And then I played it again. And then I played it again. And I was like, hey, my first purchase of music with my own money was a great one. Like, like I did not blow this. This is cool.
Hell yeah. No, I love that. And then what was one of the first live shows you ever went to that was like specifically one you wanted to go to? So like you saw you saw it was happening, you got the tickets, you went to it.
Wow. Probably Onyx.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Onyx.
Okay.
In Durham, North Carolina. Yeah.
Cool. Hell yeah. I dig that.
Yeah, it was
that.
That was I love Onyx, man. So like they were like, oh, yo, Onyx is coming. And I got super excited. So I'm like, man, let me, but I had a job at the time, you know what I'm saying? Because so I what do I need to do? Oh, I got it.
Yep.
Right over, got the tickets, went to the show, and it was a weird experience because I'd see people perform live like on TV, like on Soul Train and all this other stuff. But I had never been in a situation where I was there to watch somebody else perform. I had performed in a show myself.
Yeah.
Before I actually bought a ticket and went to a show.
Interesting.
So
interesting.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, yo, this is different.
It's a whole other world. And it's definitely one of those ones that like once you like really understand like what it can be like in the space, it really just grabs you.
Yes.
And then before we officially get into the now, do you have a defining moment where you decided you wanted to take music more seriously?
Yeah. We were on tour with KRS-One.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I'm
That's a great way to start a story. Damn.
So we were on stage. We just got done sound checking, and he came out, was about to sound check. So we were walking backstage. He was like, "Hold on, come here for a second."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Let me hear something." So I started rapping, and he starts tapping on the SP1200. He's making the beat. Then he says, "Stop! You hear this? That's your flow right there." He said,
"Damn,
you got this.
Damn,
keep going." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, no doubt."
Hell yeah! And just out of curiosity, what year was that? Do you remember?
That was 1996.
Gotcha. Okay.
1996. Yeah.
Okay. It's a timeline question for me, I promise.
Oh, no doubt. It's 1996.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's rad though. That, like I said, that's a cool experience right there. Not many people get that kind of validation in their lives.
Oh, nah. And it definitely means something. I mean, regardless of how people people have their personal whatevers with KRS-One, but not
everybody just casually has their personal whatevers with KRS-One. You know what I mean? Like that is a cool experience in and of itself. But let's go ahead. Let's get into the here and now.
No doubt.
We are going to get a super easy one out of the way first, though. How'd you pick the name?
Oh wow! So my name used to be Apocalypse the Mindbender. And
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And I started realizing,
just take a quick guess.
Oh yeah,
nobody could spell apocalypse right.
Nobody.
Damn. Okay.
Didn't spell it right. Half the people didn't know what it means, and I'm like, okay, look, I got to do something different. So like my alias, every rapper's got an AKA to this, and I was AKA the Seven Sign. So I was like, Seven Sign, that's dope. And I was like, but I don't want to call myself Seven Sign. And then one day, we was just sitting around, and bro was just like, yo, Seven, and I was like, huh? And I was like, yo, hold on, I think that's it. It's just Seven. But then I went to go trademark my name and realized that it was an R&B singer from the UK who had the name Seven trademark.
That'll do it.
I was like, now I got to come up with something else. And my father was a Black Panther. So like, I was like, And then around that same time, the Carolina Panthers was probably about 2 to 3, maybe 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Carolina, Black, Seven Da Panther. That's it, Seven Da Panther. And it was like,
that's it. Yep. I definitely a step up from Apocalypse the Mindbender. I'm gonna say, although don't get me wrong, cool name.
Oh yeah,
like, I give you credit. When you hear it, you're like, that is pretty badass. But nobody is spelling that correctly for sure.
That was young, brash. I want to feel special, me. So I'm gonna call myself something outlandish.
I feel ya. Oh yeah. And then let's go ahead and let's talk about your writing process a little bit. And we're going to break it up into chunks, but we're going to start right at the beginning.
Okay.
So when you get inspired, you're ready to make music. How do you go about getting a track started?
That's the weird thing, man. Like, okay, so check it. I get like, I do a lot of projects with one producer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say, hey, send me beats. And they'll say, okay. So send beats. I pick the ones I want. Okay, now that I've siphoned those out of everything else, now I just put the beats in a playlist and just hit play and put it on a loop. And as soon as one of the beats says, hey, on me, you should say this.
Oh, okay.
As soon as I hear that, now we putting that one on repeat. And now we're going to see how far down this rabbit hole I go before I even start writing anything.
Oh, yeah.
If I can hear the whole song, even if it's just mumbles, if I can hear the whole song, now I'm ready to write it. Okay. So now the beat's on loop. As soon as I write the first 4 bars, I turn the beat off and I don't listen to it again until I record the song.
Interesting. Interesting. Do you freestyle the rest of it from there, or do you continue to write after those 4 bars just without the beat?
Yeah, just without the beat.
Okay.
What I'll do is I'll turn. Okay, I'm giving away my secret. I said it on my podcast though, so it's cool. I'll take the beat and turn it off, and I'll turn on something like Pavarotti or something, and I'll write to that.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It totally takes my mind out of the space that I have the blueprint for what I'm trying to do with the song now. You know what I'm saying? But now I can color inside these lines however I want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That's interesting. I haven't quite heard that approach to this. That's a cool one. And then I guess, are you doing it pen to paper? Are you doing it in your phone? How are you getting the words out?
Well, I usually write on my phone. I will say that. But for the last, after Gravitas came out, when I started working on the next project that's coming, I said, you know what? I think I'm going to write this one down on paper. It's just something about the connection that I have to the songs that I wrote down on a piece of paper as opposed to the songs that I wrote on my phone. It's not that they're any less good.
No.
Anything of that nature. I just have a different relationship with them because I physically wrote it down on a piece of paper.
There's a science to it too, like the actual action of handwriting something. It helps you memorize things differently,
right?
Because you went through the motion of like putting each letter down as like a unique individual action.
That's why I can remember the words to a song that I wrote on a piece of paper 12 years ago way better than I can remember a song I wrote on my phone 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's the tactility. It does something special.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then once you get a track finished writing, so it doesn't have to be recorded and released per se, but I mean, I guess, but you've gotten it done. How long does it usually take you to feel comfortable enough to perform a track?
Okay, so here's the problem with that. I'm really terrible at remembering the words of my songs.
That's fair.
Once I get it, I got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I try not to OD, but like as far as performing the song goes, like I could record a song today, and as long as I can listen to it enough times between now and tomorrow night when you need me on that stage, I can perform it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the big thing for me. But I mean, like for me, performing is so fun. It's like all of the blockades that may exist when I'm practicing in the car go away when I'm on the stage.
Yep.
Like I think I'm gonna mess up and it doesn't happen. Like I just keep going. So I'm like, oh, this is great. But
no, I gotcha. Okay, so next day is like the quickest you could do it. How long do you usually like to do it to like feel comfortable? Like a couple weeks?
Like a week.
Okay.
Like a week, yeah.
Okay, so you're still pretty quick at it just because you got it down. And then actually, now I want to take a moment. I want to talk about some of your music.
Oh, thank you.
And you've got a crazy amount of music. It goes all the way back to 2004 on Spotify. And it's just like, usually I do this bit where I try to like tally up everybody's everything so I can like wow them with numbers. I just didn't even bother. You've got so much music. And I got to say, like, even going back to the beginning, like The Wait Is Over, super cool album.
Thank you.
Super cool. You've got a really good sound there. And you've got like, you have a sound that like makes sense at that time, but sounds like it would be in front still. So it's kind of cool to jump through because there was no way I was going to be able to listen to everything, but I did kind of jump through all of your albums to kind of like feel like the change in time, the eras you went through. And I thought it was really cool that like the growth that happens through the time, the way that you progress through your time in music.
Yeah, thank you.
It was really cool. And I mean, even like your like second to last album, Lightwork, that you did with Nosi, that album sounds different than your most recent album, Gravitas.
Oh yeah.
Which, side fact, that's one of my favorite words ever. So I saw that, I was like, oh, gravitas. Nice. But it's a cool album, man. It's a different level for sure. Like you came out swinging. All your features are on point. I mean, Drugs was hitting for sure with those beats. Those were
crazy.
And just every single track you came in and you just put it down. It's a super powerful album. Probably one of my favorite ones of the year so far.
Thank you.
So big fan. But I am curious to know, out of all the music you have available, and that's a lot.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite tracks to perform?
Favorite tracks to perform. Oh, you know what? Laced Up or Shooting Stars 2. My favorite songs to perform. DOA. Now DOA is technically not out. It's on SoundCloud, but hasn't been released because it's a sample and there's no way we're going to be able to click it.
Gotcha.
But, it's the sample from the Friends theme song. So,
yeah, that's a big budget ask.
Yeah, so but I perform it live and people love it because it's like it kind of starts off with it's recognizable once it gets to the
yep,
and then it flips into the beat and then it's like and I'm like, yeah, this is
okay, hell yeah,
this is a cool trick to play for y'all.
Yeah, for sure.
Those two records, and then actually the song "Light Work" with No C is one of my favorite songs to perform. Golly, man, I got a song called "They Don't Know." That's on what album is that on? Mouth Volume 1, I think. I love to perform that record, man. So hard to do with my crew SCP. I like to perform that. Yeah, like I love performing. So like, if you like, what song do you like to perform? Like whatever song that I play while I got up there.
Like if I put it on the list, I like to perform it.
Yeah, but like sometimes I perform stuff because I feel like it's gonna work for the crowd that I'm performing for.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It may not necessarily be high on my list, but I know it's a good record, and I know that people will vibe with it, so I'll do it. But like those are probably my top 4.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest, your hit ratio on tracks is actually pretty solid. So it's not like anything you bring to the stage is going to be disappointing anyways. You know what I mean?
Much appreciated, yo. Definitely.
But now I want to take a moment. I want to kind of zoom out and look at more music as a whole. What are you listening to right now? What are you taking in?
Most recently, I've been listening to the new Ransom and Dave East album.
Hell yeah.
Like almost anything Griselda that come out, I'll be on it. I listen to a lot of independent hip hop. So like this crew called Ilpo out of Greensboro, North Carolina, got a new project out called Wagyu Brisket. It's dope. OC from NC got Project 25, the Mandela Effect out. That's dope. My little bro Mojo Barnes getting ready to drop his album Son of the Morning. Like listening to those tracks is Monster Alyssa's album, The Book of the Monster Volume 1. That's the kind of stuff that I listen to on a regular basis. I listen to No C's music a lot. We're in the same crew, so it's almost like cheating. But
yeah, no, I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? I listen to No C a lot. Actually, here lately, I've been listening to a lot. Fatal Luciano. I don't know if you know who Fatal is, but Fatal Luciano is from Seattle. And his album, his pen is so.
No, I
this world, man.
Like, yeah,
geez, Louise.
I'm pretty sure I've sent him a message by now. Yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, those are.
If you don't respond back, let me know. I got you.
For sure. And then before we move into this next part, this next question is probably the densest question in the interview. Okay. But we've talked about your experience with music, the actions, the reactions. But when it's just you and music one-on-one, what does music give back to you?
That's a tricky question. A lot of times, the music that I'm listening to, even if I haven't said anything to you, could probably tell you how I feel about the day. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm listening, if it's 5:30 in the afternoon or getting close to nighttime and everybody's kind of in chill mode, but I'm listening to DMX, it's probably been a rough day.
Yep.
And I'm not in the best mood right now. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times I use music to communicate what I'm thinking because I don't want to say it. If I say it right now, whichever way it may be, whether it's way super positive, way super negative, it's not going to come out right.
Yeah.
So this is how I'm going to express it. And it doesn't have to be my music. It could be any music. You know what I'm saying? So like that, to me, music gave me an opportunity or means to express my emotional self that I wasn't comfortable with saying the words about. You know what I'm saying? So I love that.
Oh yeah. Well, damn, thank you so much for sharing that. All right, now we're going to move on to some hypothetical questions.
Okay.
Yeah, and for these, sky's the limits. The questions are all made up, so the answers are allowed to be as well.
I'm pretty high. This should be fun.
But this first one is pretty straightforward. If you could work with any one artist, the only requirement is they have to be alive.
That changed my answer. Okay.
Yep. Who would you want to work with, and how would you want to work with them?
Wow. This is probably gonna blow some people's minds if they hear the answers to this question. But
Justin Bieber. No, I'm kidding.
Wow, it's almost that bad. Russ.
Okay.
Yeah. Russ. And that wouldn't the answer to that question would have been very different if you had asked me like 2 years ago. But like I got an opportunity to stop being blinded and just listen to his music. And I was like, yo, this kid's not bad, yo. And he sounds like he really like believes in what he's doing.
Yeah.
And that means something to me. You know what I'm saying? If you believe in yourself that strongly. And I think I heard a project of his where he rapped with some heavyweights, Royce the 5'9" and some other killers on the album, you know what I'm saying? And he held his own. And I was like, I'd like to do a song with him.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I'm kind of shocked that I even said it out loud. But yeah.
Hey, well,
Definitely.
that's definitely a solid answer. And then subsequently, and this might be a harder one, but who's a local artist that you're aware of that you haven't gotten to connect with yet, but you would like to?
When?
More, I mean, just like
When?
Oh, when? Sorry, I thought you said when. I was like,
No.
now, tomorrow, I don't know, whenever you like.
No, when? Yeah, I think she's dope.
Hell yeah.
I love to do a song with her. Like I think she's super dope. Like
yeah.
Whew.
And she's been doing it for a minute too.
And I just got turned on. I just like stumbled across her like a year and a half, 2 years ago, and was like, "Yo, who is this?"
Yeah. She did start blowing up online, kind of around that time, like coming up on like 2 years ago now. But yeah, she's been in it for a minute. Also, I've sent her a bunch of messages, but I'm sure she's never going to get back to me on that one.
I have to, so don't worry. I'm like, yo, I want to do a record with you.
Fair.
Yo, can I do a record with you?
And then for this next one, like I said before, sky's the limits, and it's pretty literal in this sense.
Okay.
But if you could perform anywhere in the world, and you wouldn't have to worry about crowd access or building stability or power, there's guaranteed the best lineup, guaranteed the best show, and it doesn't have to be a venue, it could be anywhere. Where would you want to perform?
I got two answers. First, Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
Second, Kenya.
Where at?
Kenya.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Kenya. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, those are both super solid answers. I'll be honest, Madison Square Garden was the goal for the show for a long time too, but another podcast beat me to it. So I'm coming for Red Rocks now.
Oh yeah.
That's why I want to do an episode of this there. If I could do that, it counts.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then to wrap up the hypothetical questions, if you could get one more album from anybody, they could be alive, they could be dead, they could have not put out an album in 100 years, could have put out an album yesterday. Who would you want an album from?
Tupac.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Tupac.
Whenever people say that answer, I'm always curious. Would you want one that came out like right after his last one, or would you want one now?
I want to hear Pac now.
Okay.
You had an opportunity to see wherever you've been at hiding out. You had an opportunity with the way you think to watch the world change and the ways that it's changed, and watch people interact and change the ways they've changed because of technology and the way that this thing has created weirdness between us being actual people.
Yeah.
And I think it would be dope because of the emotional being that he was to see how he responds to society as it is. Like just even coming out of the pandemic, being the type of person he is. Like you can imagine what. You know what I mean? So I would love to hear his thoughts.
Hell yeah.
In regards to that.
Hell yeah. Very much so. All right. With that being said, though, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping this up.
No doubt.
What can we look forward to between, let's say in the next 6 months? What do we got cooking?
Oh, man. Well, Renaissance out now. We about to drop some. We did this really weird this time, and it's okay. But, you know, being independent, you don't really got no rules, so it is what it is. But we about to start dropping videos off of that. But, like, I'm about to start recording a 5-song EP. With my man Van Guns. We've done a couple singles together. We got the Virtuoso EPs coming, and then I got a project I'm doing with Tuna Beats out of LA.
Hell yeah.
I still haven't named it yet. I'm thinking about calling it Luke Cage, but I ain't decided yet. I'm thinking about it. But then people are gonna expect the theme of the music to follow that, and I'm like, nah, it ain't that. Luke Cage is unbreakable. And so am I.
Okay.
Got that. Me and my man Fred Benz, we got a couple joints together already. We're gonna do that. Me and Eda Mad Assassin working on Carter and Newton 2. Me and OC just started working on Light Work too. I don't know if all of this coming out in the next 6 months, but some of it you're gonna probably hear quite a bit of it in the next 6 months.
For sure. Do you have any shows coming up or anything like that?
Nah. It's been quiet on that front, man. I guess as I told people, hey man, you gonna have to pay me to show up, yo. Like and the calls get a little slower when they realize they got to pay you. But you know, and promoters, pay close attention. This ain't for everybody. If we homies or it's a dope opportunity, I'll still come for free. I promise I will, because I'm a businessman and I understand that you got to sacrifice is necessary. But nothing big. I did get I'll be rapping at Folk Life this year.
Oh hell yeah.
It's a couple other festivals that are kind of on the fence right now that they ain't quite said no, but they ain't said yes. It's so
feeling it out. I got you.
We'll see what happens, but I'm available for booking. Reach out to Gabriel Durden. That's my manager. Gabriel Durden. Or you can hit me directly. I'll send you to him.
I was gonna say actually, for this next one, go and look straight at your camera. Tell everybody how they can find you.
That's easy. I am Seven Da Pantha everywhere, but SEVENDA PANTHA everywhere. You can find me there. You can find me over at Panther Politics Podcast Network. We got a lot of good stuff going on over there. This is a shameless plug. Panther Politics every Thursday. All Purpose Podcast live every Monday night on YouTube and Rumble. You know, we do work, man. It's a lot going on. But yeah, Seven Da Pantha everywhere, yo.
And actually, I'm sorry, I meant to bring it up earlier. Tell us a little bit about your podcast. What is it about? What can we look forward to with it?
Well, the pod started kind of like this. I was interviewing artists that I liked. You know what I'm saying? And then I started realizing that artists are kind of weird and they don't like promote their interviews like they should. So I was like, man, maybe I should do something else. And then I realized, like, you know, but like maybe we could just turn this into a regular podcast. You know what I'm saying? And I got a couple of the homies. It was Mojo Barnes and Eden Mad Assassin at first. And we started rocking. Then Monster Illicit joined. And so we kind of kept that format. But I still wanted to interview artists, so I started another podcast called Sidebars to still interview artists. And then at that juncture, I was like, man, I want to talk sports, but none of these guys on Panther Politics watch sports. Yeah. And it'll be weird to talk sports in a Sidebars interview. So let's start a sports podcast. So I started All Purpose Podcast, and now it's me and Evan Almighty and Phantom over there. We do lives every Monday night. We started that during football season for Monday Night Football, and we decided to just keep going with it.
Oh yeah.
So that's been fun. We actually will be doing a live the third day of the draft, next Saturday. We'll be live on YouTube and Rumble. I'll put the flyer out. Y'all follow us on Instagram at Panther Politics Pod. Panther Pod Network. I don't remember what it is. Panther Politics Network. That's all you need to know.
It'll have been on the screen by now, I'm sure. All right, and then any other plugs, any other shout outs, anybody else you want to put on while you're on here?
Salute to my guys, man. Sound Chamber West, No C, Soul Interrogator, Mojo Barnes, Monster Illicit, and me, obviously. And everybody on the East Coast, Apostle AP, The Sorcerers, Wax, Imagery, Quest. Golly, it's a lot of us, son. Man, that's crazy. That's a lot of people. Salute the 144,000 chosen few. Golly, Alien Gang, what up? And We Live in Entertainment. And everybody else, if you rock with me, I rock with you. One love.
Oh, yeah. All right, now with that being said, I've got one last question to go.
Okay.
Before we do, I'm gonna steal the camera for just a second.
No doubt.
As always, y'all, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And one more shout out to the Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. And with that being said, the final question. And this is entirely up to your interpretation.
Okay.
But in all of music, what is an album you feel is more on the obscure side? So it's a bit of a deep cut. It's one not a lot of people would know, but it's one you think everybody should know.
That's a great question. Chain Letters by Superstition.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think that's, to me, I think, and I say this all the time. I see a lot of people talk about the Mount Rushmores and all of this other stuff. And they like, well, who's the top 5 out of North Carolina? And I tell them it doesn't matter who else is on your list. If he's not on it, it's invalid. Yeah. Period. Like if he's not on it, your list doesn't count.
Oh yeah.
So try again. But Superstition, that's SUPA Stition. Chain Letters. Yeah. Go down the whole rabbit hole, man. That guy's amazing. But yeah, Chain Letters is an awesome album.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you so much for that rec.
No doubt.
All right. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us today.
For having me, man. I appreciate it big time.
Yeah. And this has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. I'm Jimmy.
I'm Seven Da Pantha.
And we're signing off. Later, y'all.
253.
That's a wrap.
This is not a podcast. This is a show.
Keep jamming.